Welcome back to Vintage Farmhouse Antiques and a little presentation on Colclough bone china. This is one of the most recognisable Colclough patterns, Ivy Leaf. Very easy to remember and describe because that's exactly what it says and does. Beautiful green and brown ivy bracts of leaf, usually peripherally round the rims, the majority of the pattern decoration on Ivy Leaf. Colclough Ivy Leaf is one of the most long-lived and longest produced of the Ivy Leaf patterns, and the Colclough patterns, really, this was produced over the course of almost 100 years and came out with various factory marks as the Colclough brand changed hands. So we've got these 8.25 inch scallop rimmed dessert plates. Now I will draw your attention to what we call scallop rim. This is the scalloping is where you have this uneven ridging or rolling ridge around the rim. That's called a scalloped rim, versus a plain rim where the rim is completely round and flat. So two versions of these size plates, 8.25 inch both of them, but they'll look very different if you get it wrong and buy the wrong ones. The scallop rimmed have this very marked rolling edge, and the plain rim just a plain rim. These were produced over a long period of time and under different brandings, and I'll just show you these two. It's quite interesting, these top two versions. Very little difference on the surface, look almost identical. Pattern, colour, definition and everything almost identical, but the plate on top, Ridgeway period. So that's dating this particular pattern production and this plate production to between 1955 and 1964. The plate one down, a very different Colclough china mark, Doulton period, a late Doulton period as well, dating this plate probably, well, after 1964 or 65 through to 1997, but if I had to put my money on it, I would say this was probably produced during the 1990s. Let's just see if we've got any other different version china marks in this set. Another late one on a G5. The G5 mark, let me just show you that in a little more detail. You'll see just below the bone china we've got that pattern reference. Well, it's not a pattern reference, it's a mould reference, G5. That's just the shape that was used during that period for a reference within the factory. It doesn't actually relate to the pattern, and again these other ones are all late Colclough period, but it's just interesting to show you that there is a difference between different factory marks, but the plates, really, unless you have a look at the factory mark, it's almost impossible to tell the difference in most cases because the production quality and quality control was so good over that long period of time. So these are very collectible now. The condition on these, the gilt's not bad at all. Few of them have got a little bit of wear on the gilt rim. These are, you know, the Ridgeway ones cracking on for almost 70 years old now potentially. The Doulton ones certainly 30 years, probably 20 at the earliest, but they could again be anything up to almost 40 years old, some of these plates, and in very fine condition considering. There are some knife marks on them, but otherwise very fine set of Ivy Leaf rolling scallop rim desserts. I think there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this set that we're listing online for sale this afternoon. There'll be a link in the description below which will take you through to our Colclough Ivy Leaf dessert plate listings, but do have a browse through the website because we've got a massive quantity of Ivy Leaf china over the period of production that we've accumulated and is listed for sale on that website, so do have a good browse, and thanks for watching yet again.